Welcome to the Deep Dive. We take a pile of interesting sources and, well, we boil them down to the key takeaways for you.
And today we're digging into a topic that's often surrounded by questions, maybe some misunderstandings, dating experiences with trans men.
Right. It's full of really personal stories, deep insights.
Yeah, absolutely. And our mission here really is to help you, the listener, get a more nuanced picture of these relationships.
We want to move past the usual assumptions, and really look at the connection, the love, the growth that's often involved.
Exactly. Appreciating the human side of it all.
So to do that, we've got some great sources lined up. We have a really candid discussion from Reddit, the Army Partner as Trans community.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there's also an article looking at the sort of unique benefits and things to consider in these relationships.
Like a personal essay from a trans man about what works and what doesn't in a partner.
And another really moving story from a cis woman about falling for a trans man and how it just completely shifted her view on identity and, well, normal.
Okay, so where do we start? You mentioned a vulnerable moment.
Yeah, let's kick off with that Reddit post. It really sets the scene. Imagine this. A trans man feeling pretty down after a relationship where his partner kept saying his genitals didn't match his identity.
Oof, that's rough.
Right. So he posts just asking really simply, anyone happily dating a trans man?
Wow. Okay, so putting that vulnerability out there, what happened next? How did people respond?
Well, that's the striking thing. It wasn't silence. It wasn't negativity. It was this immediate, huge wave of positive, really inspiring stories.
So the community really came through.
Totally. The thread just lit up. It was this echo of happiness, you could say. And these weren't just like one or two examples. No, people were talking about long-term, genuinely happy relationships, like almost 3 years, 10 years, 13 years, almost 6 years, almost 16 years.
16 years.
Yeah. Almost 8 years, 9 years, 7 years, 5 years, 12 years. I mean, these are serious, lasting connections.
So a major theme emerging from all that must be about looking beyond the physical.
Definitely. That came through loud and clear. Partners kept saying, they love the person, not just the body or specific parts.
Were there any quotes that really stood out?
Oh, yeah. One user, Summer Days, put it perfectly. It's not his genitals that I'm in love with. It's him and who he is.
That's simple, direct.
Right. And another useless mortal just gushed, I love him, his soul and his genitals, which is just, wonderfully affirming, all of it.
And it wasn't just about feelings, right? People talked about practical support during transition, too.
Absolutely. That was a big part of it. Like, Wolven Fury's partner, when he came out, just took it in stride.
That's great.
And then took care of me after my top surgery and is fully supportive of me pursuing fallow if I want it. That's real active support.
Yeah, more than just acceptance.
Exactly. And another person, JJ83410, talked about their learning curve, learning everything from trans terminology to giving T injections and emptying top surgery drains.
Wow, that's a deep level of involvement and care.
It really shows commitment, doesn't it?
It does. And sometimes it's the small things, the everyday affirmations, that mean so much.
Totally. Like, Silly Sam shared this moment. When he came out, his wife just said, babe, you were never a woman. And then she playfully goes, but you're my boyfriend now. And he's like, absolutely not. I'm husband or wife, but not gender friend. It's just the sweet, understanding banter.
That really captured the affirmation, yeah. And you see that from different kinds of partners, too.
Yeah, definitely. Super Secretary 3289 mentioned their cis male partner actively affirms them. He goes out of his way to tell me that I am passing and that I look handsome on a daily basis.
Yeah, that daily dose of you look handsome must be incredibly validating.
For sure. And these partnerships involve all sorts of people. Cis women, cis men, bi, pan, non-binary folks, gay men.
Even people who identified as straight before and are now questioning things.
Exactly. And beyond the specifics of identity, what really comes across is the normalcy of it all. Shared homes, pets, family.
Just regular couple stuff navigating life together.
Right. Now, we should mention there was one contrasting voice in that Reddit thread.
Okay.
User ScaryTal268 suggested, maybe controversially, that compatibility might be easier if you focus on dating based on assigned gender at birth, AGA.
How so?
They argued it might be easier to make an exception for gender identity than for, like, genital or body preferences, especially suggesting openness to inspect people, lesbians, or straight men.
Okay. That's a different perspective from within the community. How did others react to that?
Well, another user, MouseHoleX, pushed back pretty hard. They basically said, look, you shouldn't be looking for mere toleration.
Right. You want more than tolerance.
Exactly. They argued for seeking full affirmation. It just highlights that, there isn't one single viewpoint, even within the community. But the core desire seems to be for genuine acceptance.
Okay, so building on these stories, let's look at some of the broader insights. We have that article, Dating Trans Men, Growth, Connection, and Challenging Biases. What were the main benefits it pointed out?
It frames these relationships as opportunities, really. Opportunities for increased empathy and understanding, for self-reflection and personal growth.
So benefits for the partner, too, not just about supporting the trans person.
Right. It talks about potentially finding deeper connections, getting exposure to new perspectives, and actively challenging biases and assumptions you might not even know you have.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But it also mentioned things to keep in mind.
Crucially, yes. It stressed the important considerations, remembering every trans man is an individual, the absolute need for respect and open communication, avoiding assumptions, and always, always focusing on the individual first, not just their gender identity.
That idea of focusing on the individual seems key. And it connects nicely to the other essay we have, JM's Dating a Trans Man, Beyond Stereotypes. That gets into some potential pitfalls, right?
Yeah, it tackles some problematic reasons why someone might think they want to date a trans man. Some real red flags. Well, there's the best of both worlds idea. Someone thinking, oh, it's like having a boyfriend who's also like my best girlfriend.
Oh.
Yeah. JM's reaction to that is strong. I hated her. I hated myself. Do not date a trans man because you want an all-in-one package. It's just reducing someone to a convenient stereotype.
Right, treating them like a product, not a person. What else?
Another big one is dating a trans man to somehow, justify your own sexuality.
How does that work?
JM gives this example of a lesbian ex who, when introducing him, would always quickly add, well, he's trans.
Ah, like a disclaimer.
Exactly. As if implying he wasn't a real man, so it didn't count towards her lesbian identity. It's basically using the trans person's identity for your own labeling purposes.
That sounds really invalidating.
Totally. So JM's main point is crystal clear. Don't date a trans man because he's a trans man, or because you need a reason or a justification. Don't date a trans man for any specific reason or agenda.
It has to be genuine.
It has to be authentic.
So if those are the wrong reasons, what are the right reasons, according to JM?
It comes down to something much simpler, much more human. Date a trans man because he caught you off guard or because something just feels right between you two.
The spark.
Pretty much. The essay concludes beautifully, I think, because sometimes love doesn't need an excuse or a reason.
Love is love, essentially.
At its core, yes.
Okay, that leads us perfectly into our final source, which sounds like a powerful illustration of exactly that. Alison Cooper's Unexpected Love.
It really is. It's this deeply personal story about how her partner completely overturned all her previous ideas about relationships and, well, what she thought she wanted.
How did it start?
She first saw him online, an author, saw his photo, sleepy-eyed and stoned, she says, and was just drawn in.
Okay.
But the connection didn't build on, typical dating stuff. It grew through these incredibly honest letters they exchanged, sharing mistakes, family stuff, needs.
Wow, really vulnerable.
Incredibly. Which led to this intimacy so immediate, the compatibility so palpable. And it was within that safe, honest space that he told her he had not been born a man.
And that honesty then ran into, I guess, the less understanding outside world.
Exactly. She talks about those awkward, sometimes inappropriate questions people ask. Her friend Ralph just blurting out, "What's under the napkin?"
Yikes.
And even her own mom, meaning well but still asking, does it even work?
Oh boy. How did she handle that?
She had to carefully explain the difference between gender and sexuality to her mom. You know, how gender and sexuality are not the same thing. How someone can feel himself to be a boy, even if he was not born with the boy kit.
Kind of gender 101 for her mom.
Pretty much. And she clarified he is a heterosexual man, like Dad. Trying to put it in familiar terms, it shows the educating that often has to happen.
And this whole experience, it sounds like it made her question fundamental ideas like normal.
Oh, absolutely. That's a huge theme. She has this realization, normal has always felt like a lie to me. She even calls it a plastic bag we wrap around our own heads.
Wow, that's a strong image. What'd she mean by that?
Well, she contrasts it with her past relationships. Some were easy, maybe, but not fulfilling. Like sleeping with a guy she didn't even like just to feel some sense of power.
Right.
She felt she became a walking mirror for cis men, just reflecting what they wanted. But her trans partner, she says, broke me. The mirror disintegrated into glorious, glittering dust.
So a complete shattering of old ways of being.
Yeah.
Dismantling her own normal.
Exactly. A shedding of limitations. But it wasn't all smooth sailing, obviously. The world can be hostile.
She talks about transphobia.
Yes. Little things, like going to a restaurant on ladies' night and seeing her partner shrivel, and big, terrifying things.
Like what?
There was this awful incident on the subway. Young guys put a knife to his throat, hissed, "You think you're a man? You're trying to be like us?"
Oh my God. That's horrifying.
Truly chilling. And Allison's insight into it is sharp. She thinks it comes from men who resent anyone crashing the boys' club without an invitation.
That resentment of difference.
Yeah. But despite all that, the core of the story is the love, the connection. What did it all ultimately show her about love?
She shares this small anecdote, doesn't she?
Yeah.
About a kitchen drawer.
Yes. It's so simple, but says everything. Her partner instinctively put his hand over the sharp corner of a kitchen drawer to stop her young daughter from bumping her head.
Just an instinctive act of care.
Exactly. It showed his character, plain and simple. And the whole relationship transformed Allison. She says, kind of provocatively, "He has made a girl out of me."
What does she mean by that? It sounds almost counterintuitive.
She clarifies it's not about reverting, but about finding a deeper, more authentic connection to herself, to her own femininity, through his love and how he saw her.
Ah, okay. Finding herself through being truly seen.
Precisely. And her final word on it just sums everything up, really, echoing what we heard from the Reddit users, too.
Which is,
"I do not love my fiancé because he is trans, or in spite of his being trans. I love him because of who he is, the same reason he loves me."
beautiful. Just
Yeah.
love for the person.
Exactly that.
So wrapping this all up, we've covered a lot of ground today, exploring dating trans men through these different lenses.
Yeah, and the overwhelming picture from the Reddit stories to the personal essays is one of real, lasting happiness being absolutely possible and, frankly, quite common.
Relationships built on genuine love for the individual, open communication, supporting each other through thick and thin.
It really seems that connection flourishes when people are truly seen and loved for who they are, beyond labels or assumptions about gender or bodies.
These stories, while specific, really speak to universal themes of finding connection, don't they?
Absolutely. So for you, the listener, as you think about everything we've discussed today, the love, the acceptance, the challenges, the growth,
We want to leave you with something to mull over. A final question.
what normal, what deeply held belief or assumption might you be holding on to in your own life?
And could that belief, maybe unknowingly, be limiting your understanding or perhaps even limiting your own potential for unexpected joy and connection, whether in relationships or just in life generally?